Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? And how do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is so very easy and simple. It is Anchor, y'all. It's Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% and ridiculously easy to use. Most of all, it is free. And now, y'all, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad here. I use Anchor for my radio broadcast as another branch to advertise and promote my episodes of my show that stems right from YouTube. And what I like about Anchor is that it distributes all to many platforms, as well as it has an in-depth statistics to where you can see how your podcast is doing. That's cool, right? I love it. So if you always wanted to start your podcast and make money doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters who are already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. My name is Red, and I'm the host of the RH3 Show. I cannot wait to hear your podcast. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Rufus, host of the RH3 Show. Welcome to another great day, another great Encore Presentation. On today, I don't have much to tell you all in the beginning of today's broadcast, but we just have an Encore Presentation. You all, guess what? I missed today's Wendy show, and how and why did I miss it is because we still dealing with the stay-at-home order. We still dealing with this coronavirus situation. Coronavirus. We still dealing with this pandemic. And they having breaking news everywhere, y'all. Everywhere. Meaning that every time you turn around, it's breaking news here, and we talking about what's going on in this city, and talking about what's going on in this country, and talking about what's going on. Look, just do it all at the noon, at the news at noon, all right? But I miss Wendy, and I miss the Greg Mathis interview that she did today. And so we're going to have to watch it together this evening right after the broadcast. So let's do that, all right? Go to the YouTube channel, in her Wendy show YouTube channel, Wendy Williams or whatever, I don't know, and watch it with me. And I'll come back on Thursday and talk about it during the beginning of it. But like I said, as always, we got, not as always, but this week we got an Encore Presentation, and we'll be back to live shows on this coming week, beginning in May. All new broadcast, all new, all May long. I'm about to cry. Why? Because there's a lot of work. But hey, that's my job, and that's what I gotta do. I gotta prepare this for you all. And so that's why I'm still pushing it, especially this week, about getting nominated or trying to get in the nominations for the Spin Awards. I have to get this done, and y'all can make this happen for me. All right, y'all can make it happen for me. And so that's what we're going to do. That's what we are going to do. And so, what we have for you all on today, you know what? Since we are all going through a time of stay at home and a time of, destruction or what have you, and not destruction, but a time of somberness and bad news here and bad news this and coronavirus this and coronavirus that, we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about many faces of depression. And so if you see it in your house, please go get some help. Go get some help. All right. Here's Many Faces of Depression. I'm going to pray us in and we're going to keep it moving. It is time for the RH3 show. And I'll see you all. I want you all to hear me on tomorrow. Whenever y'all hear me on, all right? 6 to 7, Monday through Friday. TheRH3Show.com. I'm about to pray us in. It is an encore presentation on today. See y'all on tomorrow. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for today. Lord, we thank you for today's broadcast. And we thank you, Father, for the topic that we're speaking on, many faces of depression. Lord, we also thank you, Father, for our gospel news commentator, Neelan Taylor, who is here today for a full week for a brand new dose of the gospel news with Nina Taylor, as well as myself, giving you the inside scoop of the red segment on today. Lord, I thank you, Father, for a brand new step as we're embarking on another decade, as we celebrated 10 years of the RH3 show on last week. Father, Lord, I thank you, Father, for the co-host. Lord, I thank you, Father, for the team of the RH3 show, Lord, that we continue to grow, Father. Lord, I thank you, Father, for each and every one that is listening to me under the sound of my voice, Father, be it anybody on the podcast platforms, Father, anybody that is on any other station, radio platform that they should be listening to me on, Father. Lord, I thank you, Father, that you continue to raise up somebody somewhere to use their power, their ability, and their influence to help me and to help the RH3 show brand. I give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praises, because it is in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's from sin to the saint. As winners we can't live by the picture they paint, because they know their own inner is taint. So we must live out our lives with a sense of restraint. Which means do I live or we ain't? We are controlled by the flesh, with the pity that's weight. Without a point of complaint, and we can
Claire, y'all awesome sport folks. What's going on, everybody? This your boy Rufus, host of the RH3 show. Welcome to another great day, another great hour here. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my regular time. I'm on from 6 to 7. Y'all, if y'all listen to me any other time, please forgive me. This this program is syndicated, meaning that we are on from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But whatever time you're listening to me, whatever part of the world you happen to be listening to me on, it is still a great broadcast and a great time that you're listening to me on. And I want to say thank you and welcome to the RH3 show. Let's get started. It is time for the Inside Scoop with Red segment, alright? Inside Scoop with Rufus. Let's go.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Want the latest news regarding the TV, movies, sports, politics, and music industry? It is time for the Inside Scoop with Red, right here on the RH3 show. Why we gotta be all of that? Because y'all spoiled and I had y'all a whole week last week. Yes, it was a celebration. Now, look, I planned that. Y'all didn't ask for it. I planned it. It was our 10 year celebration. week. Plus, it was our return from our Christmas break. And we just enjoyed ourselves. And I enjoyed spending the whole entire week with you all. And y'all, I really enjoyed that. It really got me in the groove of planning my day, planning my week, planning as if I was to be back on radio or back on a schedule. Not back on radio, but back on a schedule for a week. But shout out to those who join me Monday through Friday during that hour of 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen, if you are new to the show, welcome to the RH3 Show. Again, I am the host of the RH3 Show. My name is Rufus. I go by Red. You may hear me say my nickname periodically sometime throughout the show. I've been saying it for all my life, but on the brand I've been saying it for 10 years, and it just have been, it has been it's been a blessing to me. It has been a blessing to me. The RH3 Show has been a blessing to me, y'all. I can't thank him enough. Ain't this a gospel song? I just can't thank him. I love it. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. And God has been so good to me, y'all. God has been so good. He's been good. He's been good. He's been good. And so I just thank him. And thank y'all for those who have been veterans, who I call my chances in day one family. Thank y'all so much for been riding with me for 10 years. What are chancers in day one? Okay, my chancers, I got that from from YouTube. I started, of course, the RH3 Show was my original platform 10 years ago. And then I started my second channel, Life as I Know It. Been broadcasting for 10 years throughout both of those, and including radio. Day one family, the RH3 Show. Chancers, Life as I Know It. Why I call them chances? Because they gave me a second chance with starting that vlogging channel, that reality quote unquote channel, and that's why I got Chancers in Day One family. And and combined they are my co-hosts, so I call my Chancers Day One my co-hosts. And that's where you all come in, my listeners, my co-hosts, my Chancers in Day One family. Y'all all are in it together now, and I love it. I love it. Y'all been combined since it'll be 5 years I've been on a radio platform, be it terrestrial, be it internet radio, be it podcasting. Y'all been on it with me for 5 years. Well, it'll be 5 years in July of 2020, but and I'm so thrilled and I'm so glad for what God has done and what God is doing for me. Speaking of me, it is the Real Talk, the Inside Scoop with Rufus segment for 5 years, or no, 10 years. Like I said, YouTube. It's been the Inside Scoop with Red segment, but I'm trying to get a little bit professional or whatever. So I'm using professional terms and using official terms. So it is the Real Talk with Rufus segment, and this, not the Real Talk, but the Inside Scoop with Rufus segment. And this is where I give you all, sorry y'all, that was my email. This is where I give you all my honest, my unscripted opinion on world and entertainment news. And we chit chat throughout this time. So, hey, we embark on everything. And so, today we're going to be discussing and talking about a plethora of things that's going on in the news. And so, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? My weekend was great. When I got off of radio on Friday, I just parlayed at home. I just came home, parlayed, chilled, whatever. Busy day Friday. And again, y'all, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I was late getting on radio. I was late. I'm sorry, I was late. And I'm sorry. And I don't know if we started on time today, did we? I think we started on time today. But I was late Friday. And so, y'all, I apologize. I was late Thursday, Friday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was late. And I'm sorry. And so, it's a lot of changes is coming on the flagship station. So please bear with us if you are a listener on my flagship station. Please bear with us. There's a lot of changes going on and a lot of changes that's going to be happening. And so, hey, just be aware. Just be aware. A lot of changes. And so a lot of changes going on with the RH3 show. And that's what I wanted to announce to you all on Friday during the Inside Scoop of the Red segment. And so, yes, a lot of things is going to be changing. A lot of things is going on. The RH3 show is releasing itself from the flagship station. And so, hey, we're venturing off and doing our own thing for the time being and seeing where God is leading us. And so, hey, we got to waver some things and plan some things. And so I'm in the talks of some great things and great people or whatever. And so see what God's going to do for, the brand or whatever. And so, hey, it is what it is, people. And so it is what it is, people. And so that's that. And, yeah, I can't be in a stuck mode anymore. I can't, and I will not. And I can't be not being appreciated anymore, and I will not. And so, yeah, that's it. That was the big announcement that I did not let you all know on Friday. But what's going on in the news? I'm glad you all asked. Yeah, I'm glad you all asked. Let me pull up my notes. I have my notes right here. Mar Ben Sapp have a live. Finish my news. Finish what happened to me on the weekend. Speaking of live recording, thank you. Okay, and Saturday, what did I do Saturday? Got up, I did some work for a few people, and then on Saturday evening, my best friend of mine was but he was installed as a senior pastor here at a local church. And so shout out to my great friend, and he's now a giant in the faith, and even some of my ministers at my current church are giant in the faith of mine, and he was one of them. But now he has his own ministry and has been installed as the new pastor of Love Christian Center. So I want to, if he's listening, I want to give a big kudos and big shout out to my homie, my great friend, Elder Antonio Snipes, who is the senior pastor of Love Christian Center in East Spencer, North Carolina. So shout out to him. And if y'all don't know what giants in the faith are, they are basically what that title is, giants in the faith. Big name, what I consider them, and they probably and of course they'll humble themselves. Trust me, they'll humble themselves down and say, no, I'm just a servant, a man servant, a girl servant, woman servant, a servant girl, servant man, servant woman, whatever they call themselves of God. And I'm just, not that big, but I'm just and some people may think that I'm one, but it's just whoever. But a giant in the faith is somebody who are deemed, somebody who they can learn from, and we can all learn and pull from each other. But a giant in the faith is, like I said, somebody who deemed high in the faith. And so, and like I said, they'll humble themselves down and say, no, not me, no, not me, No, not me. But shout out to, of course, my pastor, Dr. Martha Starks of Word of Life, Family Worship Center. She's a giant in the faith, without mention. Pastor Apostle Jamila Young of Unity Church Charlotte, a powerful woman of God. Powerful woman of God. She's a great friend of mine as well. And I'm a great supporter of her ministry and her Car Chronicles movement ministry that she do every Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday, and a couple times she done on Sundays after she finished ministering at Unity. And I'm a big supporter of that, and so I gifts, sometimes in the ministry or whatever, and plant seeds or whatever, but not like I should, and I will say that, and I will say that because my pastor, my senior pastor always says, if a ministry blesses you, pour back into that ministry. She always says that, pour back into the ministry, and that's one of my prayers that I'm, praying on for 2020. If a ministry blesses you, pour back into that ministry. And so, even if it has to be time, financial, whatever, I'm pouring back into some of my giants in the faith. Ministries. And so, of course, like I said, my pastor, Dr. Starks, Apostle Jamila Young, of Unity Church Charlotte and Car Chronicles movement. If you want to be a part of the Car Chronicles movement and listen to her speak every Monday through Friday, and again, like I said, on some Saturdays and some Sundays on her main page, but again, she preaches on Sundays and Wednesdays. And go to her, you can find her on Facebook, Jamila Young, the only official page for Car Chronicles that she go live on. No other page, Jamila Young. You will see live video. It'll say Jamila was live or Jamila is live. Jamila Young is live. Some pages will be shared live. Sometimes she'll share her own, but on that particular page, you will see Jamila Young was live. Some other group pages, is whatever. But anyway, I'm bypass that. Of course, again, Jamila Young, Pastor John Hanna of New Life Covenant in Chicago, Illinois. That's another cat. My goodness, I hold him to y'all. Jesus, I hold him very high up, very high. That man and his ministry and his word and his teaching has blessed my spirit. God has spoken through him through him to us, and has gotten me out of a whole bunch of mess and a whole bunch of states of this and states of that and slumps of this and slumps of that or whatever. Got me out of it. And and I want you, and if you can, by all means, sometimes follow these people. Follow some of them. Some of them are social media social media what's the word I'm thinking of, savvy or whatever. Pastor John Hanna, another giant in the faith of mine, is of course Pastor Robin Gould of Victory Christian Center out of Charlotte, and a few other local ministers here in my city. Another one, wow, powerhouse, Dr. Mike and Dee Freeman, out of Maryland. Y'all, that's my church home when I'm in Maryland. I love it. I'm not a member there, but I consider the Freemans as my church home. I love it. Their spirit of faith, I love it. But anyway, And there's a few more. And again, speaking of Pastor Snipes in Love Christian Center, he had a ceremony. He was installed as the senior pastor. The pastor of the church had retired, and wanted to spend more time with his family, with his wife, who's getting much better, and continue to pray for Love Christian Center, Pastor Snipes, and his family, and his children, and his grandchildren, and whatever. And that was my honor to do that. And on Sunday, of course, went to church, and after church went to support another friend in the ministry, Pastor Mark Chambers, and the Garden Center. They had their second anniversary on Sunday, and it was an honor to be a part of that, and had it wasn't a service that Sunday, but it was a service that Sunday, but I wasn't a part of that. We went to the concert, and it was a live recording for him and his singing group or whatever, and so I stayed there and was a part of that, and it was great, and I enjoyed my weekend. It was a great weekend. I enjoyed it, fun, relaxing, and now we here at Tuesday, and so yeah. And so let's go on, because I spent way too much time talking on that 16 minutes, y'all. But anyway, Marvin Sapp, a live recording. That's why I had finished speaking on my weekend, because of that live recording on Sunday. But he'll have a live recording on February the 21st, 2020 at 7 p.m. It'll be at the Chosen Vessel, 4450 Campus Drive in Fort Worth, Texas. All right? You can go to ticketlossity.com/event/Marvin-Sapp-live-recording. And if you missed that, just go, just follow him. Of course, it'll be on his social media platforms. Marvin, I think it's Dr. Marvin L. Sapp or Marvin L. Sapp or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to save this one last. Alright, I'm going to save this next story last, and I'm going to go 2020 Oscar nominations, y'all, the complete list, Best Picture. I feel that, I don't know. I'm thinking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to take that. Actor in a leading role, I think that Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker would take that one. Actress in a leading role, Cynthia Erivo. I said that right? The first time. Cynthia Erivo as Harriet. Also, actor in a supporting role. I believe that I have Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to take that. Actress in a supporting role, I think that's going to go to Kathy Bates in Richard Jewell. Yes, and I think, and I'm going by basically the of course their skills in these roles or whatever. So check it out, because a lot. J-Lo was snubbed. They said Beyonce was snubbed. Or whatever. And so everybody is saying that J-Lo should boycott it. J-Lo should even boycott the Super Bowl or whatever. But what is your opinion? Please comment below on social media. Just comment below. What is your opinion about the Oscars and the snubs or whatever? I feel that y'all, a lot of women and a lot of blacks, I shall say, and I will go out on a limb and say that, make your own, okay? And of course, this here is the big kahuna of, awards. Make your own, and make your own big kahuna of awards, make it on, look, make it prestige and bring in big names or whatever, and make it your own. Of course, we got the NAACP awards and the Image Awards and whatever, the BET, because I'm not throwing that out because that's supporting us too, being it is ratchet or whatever, and it can be ratchet. But still, it's just awards, ceremony that's celebrating us. So I'm not knocking that. We got stuff out here that we asked for, but then you still knocking. Whatever, and get out. Come on. We get mad at people not acknowledging us in stuff that it was made for them, but then when we got stuff that's made for us, we don't like it. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And I feel that I'm not, wrong for my opinion. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Beyonce, like I said about her snub, she's still not an Oscar nominee. A long national nightmare continues. This time, for her strong spirit from The Lion King, after having previously left off her 2007 nominations for Dreamgirl. Listen, that should have been nominated. I will say that. What else? I was scrolling down, but I scrolled down too fast, and I'm glad because I would have forgotten about this because I don't have no bullet point. But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle future, they about to get up out of there, and you know what? I'm here for all of that because Prince Harry, seeing how his mother was treated. I don't know the details. I don't know the logistics. I don't know the reason why, but I would say, look, what the Queen's new statement means for Harry and Meghan Markle, I'm glad he did what he did. Look, I'm not gonna play games like this, like y'all did my mama. They released their titles and they up out of there. And I heard somewhere that they already have copyrighted or trademarked 100 items before they left. Look. He wants to keep his wife. He wants he wants his son to be safe. Shout out to them. Trick Daddy and his battle with lupus. I'm sorry to those who, was on, we on Christian, platforms or whatever. I'll give a disclaimer if you are new, and if you are new, just now picking up the RH3 show. I do have listeners who listen to this platform who are of other genres or whatever, and we cover all bases, but I do be respectful, and they know that I'm respectful to them as well. They are respectful to me, meaning that I will not water down, and I will not water down my faith and belief for nobody when it pertains to this show, because this, and as y'all can see and hear and know by the prayers that starts off this broadcast. With that being said, I will not water down whatever, and I will cover everything in its respectful manner. If it's discriminating my faith, if it's down in Jesus or whatever, and it's not having me to mention the name of Jesus, whatever, and it's whatever, I'm not. But with all of that being said, Trick Daddy from Florida, he's a rapper, secular rapper, and his legal name is Maurice Young, 45-year-old Miami-based rapper. Back in the day, part of my genre era. Every time I think of Trick Daddy, I think of one of my old songs back in. Look, y'all, don't judge me, and I don't listen to it. It is the song Sugar. But anyway, I'm not promoting it or whatever. But anyway, he is still battling lupus, and I'm going to mention something, but I'm going to come back on a commercial break and find it, because I'm going to mention it, but whatever. But anyway, he was just recently had a mugshot, and a lot of people on social media was clowning him, clowning meaning making fun of him and his hair and whatever, not knowing that the type of lupus he has causes hair loss. some of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, and some of y'all might want to consider apologizing to him. But anyway, his battle with Lupus, and the reason why I'm mentioning is because y'all need to watch, and myself too, because I'm not going to sit up here and throw stones and try to judge you all and try to, say whatever, because there are a couple times that I've, laughed and said or whatever at stuff that was inappropriate. And I still do, and afterwards I would have to say, Lord, forgive me. I still, hey, we're being real here. Real talk with Red, Rufus, or whatever. Inside scoop with Rufus. I give you my honest, my unscripted opinion. Whatever. But yeah, the problem is no one knew that his hair loss was due to him being afflicted with lupus. Reports the Jasmine Brand. But I knew he had lupus, and I knew that some people, with lupus have hair loss, but I didn't know that his lupus had hair loss. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, being the type of man that I was about to call him ludicrous, being the type of man that Trick Daddy is, I know he was not going to go out like that. So it had to be something dealing with his health. I say all of that to say this: watch what you say to people, everybody, including me. Watch what you say to people. Watch how you laugh on social media, because you don't know what people are going through and what people are dealing with. And so, he issues a statement in the wake of the commenters and the comedians having fun at his expense. The 45-year-old Miami-based rapper, whose legal name is Maurice Young, like I said, took to his Facebook page to vent his frustration. Let me get this right, he quotes, and he says, "You lie on me, make fun of the fact that I have lupus, and all just for likes. Thank God I'm strong. Everything is funny until it hits close to home. My feelings don't hurt easily. I'm too worried about waking up tomorrow." Trick Daddy was diagnosed with lupus years ago, but he says he no longer takes medication to treat it. And I'm not going to say this because I did not hear this. And so this is not in a quote, so I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say what this next line says. You're not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because it's dealing with medication and it deals with what, it says that I'll say this. Allegedly, I'm putting up quotes, allegedly during his interview on The Breakfast Club back in 2014, he allegedly said he smokes weed laced with cocaine to treat the disease. I don't know how true that is, because it sounds far-fetched and it sounds just a plea and a ploy to do that. And if he does, he need not to, whatever. And I don't condone it, but I'm praying that God, heal this man. I really do. Total healing from the weed smoking, and total healing from his first healing from that weed smoking, and healing from his prescription drugs, and healing from the lupus. Matter of fact, healing from the lupus first. But once he get healed from that lupus, everything else will fall in line. Hey. He was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed and first. All of that is, is given to those that his child. And I pray that, everything that I don't know about Trick Daddy's salvation or whatever in his relationship with God. I don't know. But, I'm just praying for his healing. I shall say that. I'll say that. I'm praying for his healing. I pray that God heal him. I'm praying for it because, it really hurt me to even see that. All right? I'll be back with more of the RH3 show. And look, we got what? I done spent the whole... Sorry, y'all. Here's Nina Taylor with This Week in Gospel News, and now I'll come back for the rest of the show with the Real Talk of the Red discussion, where we're going to be talking about many faces of depression. Whole half hour of inside scoop. Y'all like that? Alright, be back with more of the RH3 show. Y'all spoiled. I told you. I just told you.
here is your gospel news. Gospel singer and composer Judith Christie McAllister. Her love for music was inspired by her mother, the pianist at their church. Soon McAllister began studying piano herself, a skill that clearly transferred over to her work as an adult as leader and later musical director at the West Angeles Church of God in Christ. After she founded her own label, Judah Music, McAllister released her debut album, Send Judah First, in 2001, which followed 2 years later in 2003, Raise the Praise. Then in 2006, McAllister issued In His Presence. The 8th of 10 siblings in the Winans family, CeCe Winans, born Priscilla Winans, became a prominent contemporary gospel artist through performances and recordings with her brother BB. As a duo, BB and CeCe proved to be commercially successful. Their first album, Lord Lift Us Up, was released on PTL in 1984. During their membership in the PTL Singers, the siblings moved to Sparrow label and released 5 albums through the mid-90s, a period in which their success increased as they added more contemporary forms of production. Their biggest album, Different Lifestyles, in 1991, topped Billboard's gospel and R&B hip-hop charts, went platinum, and won a Grammy. 2 of its singles, Addictive Love and the Staples Singers cover, I'll Take You There, featuring Mavis Staples, also topped multiple Billboard genre charts. Shortly after, CeCe began her solo career. Alone in His Presence in 1995 found her working her way back to traditional gospel, singing standards like Greatest Thy Faithfulness, Blessed Assurance, and I Surrender All. Everlasting Love in 1998, His Gift, also in 1998, and Alabaster Box in 1999, cemented the singer's status as a top-tier gospel artist. By the end of the 90s, she had a handful of RIAA Gold and Platinum certifications, as well as 8 Dove Awards to go with her Grammy. CeCe entered the following decade with a self-titled album, 2001, that concentrated on the adult contemporary and R&B markets. The set also featured a duet with her brother Marvin on the stirring single Bring Back the Days of Yea and Nye, beginning with Throne Room in 2003, Purified in 2005. Likewise benefited from the arrangement, after which CeCe moved to EMI Gospel for Thy Kingdom Come in 2008 and Songs of Emotional Healing in 2010. Between the latter two, BB and CeCe regrouped on the Malaco label for the album Still, another Grammy winner. Several years had passed and CeCe released another album, a period which included a stint as a judge on BET's singing competition Sunday Best. She returned with Let Them Fall in Love in 2017, on which she was joined by the Clark sisters and Hezekiah Walker. We continue to celebrate Black Women's History Month with Sarah Boone. Born in 1832 as a slave in Craven County, North Carolina, Sarah Boone made her name by inventing the ironing board. Boone was a rarity during her time, a female African-American inventor. In her patent application, she wrote that the purpose of her invention was to produce a cheap, simple, convenient, and highly effective device adapted to be used for ironing sleeves and the bodies of ladies' garments. Prior to that time, most people ironed using a board of wood rested across a pair of chairs or tables. She was living in New Haven, Connecticut when her patent was granted in 1892. She died in 1904. Here's your top 10 gospel quartet albums in the U.S. Number 10, the legendary Ingramettes with Take a Look in the Book. Number 9, Tim Woodson and the Heirs of Harmony with The Truth. I Got Victory from New Walk coming in at number 8. Number 7, Lord Say You Will from the Alabama Spirituals. Number 6, The Gospel Hurricanes with On This Christian Journey. Number 5, Deontay and New Direction with Sing Praises. Back to the Roots from the True Believers coming in at number 4. The Process from Eternal Lighthouse Singers at number 3. Number 2 from Keith Wonderboy Johnson and Josh Miles, Inspirational Project. And our new number 1, legendary Lighthouse Gospel Singers with Time is Closer Than You Think. I'm Nina Taylor, reminding you to connect with me on all social media outlets and write me at thegospelnewswithnina@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to more great gospel music on this great station.
Switch from the old man into the new man. From the old man into the new man.
We're transitioning from the old to the new this season on RH3. Have no fear, we still got you covered every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, now on our podcast platforms. Join us this week for all new broadcasts.
The RH3 Show every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p. to 7 p. Eastern. For more about the broadcast, please visit the rh3show.com.
With the word redeem, Joe, waking up loud like a cappuccino. I know what he's done for me, so I can get up and praise him to a word redeem, Joe. Yeah. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him, they call it good switch.
K&B Improvement. No job too big or too small. Heaven knows we do it all. From carpet cleaning to house turnover, deep scrubbing, and more. Carpet restoration, we give you what you ask for. Reliable, reasonable, prices you can't beat. Let us serve you in all your cleaning needs, for we are dependable and neat. Call 301-379-5939. Kevin Best, www.kandbimprovement.com.
What I just told you, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it. I said what I said. You don't like it, you don't like it.
It's the Real Talk with Red segment right here on the RH3 Show. It's the Real Talk with Red segment right here on the RH3 Show, the Real Talk with Rufus. This is where I give you all my honest, my unscripted opinion on real life topics. We also have grown folks discussion. And today we're going to be talking about the many faces of depression. And also, excuse me, y'all, also, on Instagram, I shared with y'all another topic that I'm going to be speaking on, and it is going to be about 6 important guidelines that we all need to follow on. And I'm going to, it is credit to Law of Attraction Live on Instagram, and so I'll give credit to them. And so I'm gonna break down those 6 important guidelines that we all need to go by. And so the many faces of depression, and as we know that, a lot of you all, because I don't think I've ever been at a time to where I was depressed, but like deep down in the slump depressed, at a time to where I'm saying I'm depressed. I've been in an area that I was in a slump. I will say that. Been in an area to where I'm like, okay, and then I realized I was in a slump, and then I picked myself back up and got out of it, okay? And I will say this, that, and it depends on how long it lasts. It depends on how long it lasts. And the many faces of depression is signs that you can see within yourself, and signs that you can see in other people. Okay, thank you, Holy Ghost. Let me give y'all this disclaimer piece before I continue on, and then I'll continue on. This segment of the RH3 Show provides general information and discussions about health and related subjects. The information and other content provided during this segment or any linked materials on the RH3 Show website are not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard on the broadcast or read on the RH3 Show website or any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed during this broadcast or on any future or past broadcast and on the website have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. Okay, that was the disclaimer, because it gets in this depression things, gets into a little medical or whatever, and I don't want to, it clinically and psychologically, the medical part, and I don't want to, whatever. I don't want to, get into that part. But, by all means, if you are depressed, of course, seek help. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. Because, even Christians, I will say that, of course, seek help from God, most importantly, and say, Lord, I'm calling on you for your help, God. I'm calling on you for help. Lead and guide and direct me to the person physically on earth that you have instilled in them to help people like me. That's how faith and come on here. That's how faith and using a therapist work. Some people say, well, no, you don't need no therapist. You a Christian and you saved or whatever. Yes, you do. Quit telling people you don't need no therapist. Of course, and I'm not knocking that. I'll be the first to tell you to seek God first. Lord, I'm calling on you, and I believe on the power and the blood of Jesus to help me. I believe on the power and the blood of Jesus to save me. Of course, I'm standing on your word for all of that to be delivered from depression. All of that can happen within an instant. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe it can happen. Miraculous thing can happen right where you stand. Right where you stand in that area. But you can also know that there is an enemy, there's an adversary, there's a devil out here that knows your weaknesses and knows where you are weak at, and knows where they can trigger and bring back that spirit of depression. By all means, when that happens, or if that should happen, pray. Seek God. Go to Scripture. But also say, Lord, while I'm praying and seeking and depending on you, Lord, I need guidance. I need people, not only my ministers at church, not only people around me, but I also need, and there's also out here counselors and guidance counselors and guidance counselors also, people, what they call them, life coaches that are faith-based, Christians or whatever. And I know a lot. Hit me up in my inbox, email me, rs3show@gmail.com, and I'll give you 2 or 3, 4 maybe to help you. But faith-based life coaches that will help you walk with you, but don't do it alone. That's the main thing. Go to God, seek God, and get help. Here are some warning signs that you might not be watching out for that could help you recognize and reach out to a friend that's struggling with depression, or reach out to yourself who is struggling with depression. Depression is just more than sadness. This isn't a warning sign as much as a lens to see warning signs through. People who haven't experienced depression can misunderstand what it entails. Yes, a popular sign of depression is inconsolable sadness and despair, but that's just one of the many faces of depression. Of course, despite how frustrating this can be, you can try to remain upbeat and positive and optimistic and interactive and so kindly and friendly. But depression isn't as obvious as we imagine. It's easy to miss if you're only keeping an eye open for sadness and gloom. You can miss it. You can miss it. You can miss it. You can miss it. Trust me, you can miss it. Like they always say, you don't know what's behind this smile. It could be all good 100%, and behind the smile can be just a sadness or whatever. That's another. That's one face of depression. Watch out for strange mood swings. All right. Yeah. Watch out for it. Another one, watch for insincere joy. We live in a joy-crazed culture. The default move of America is happy. If you're not happy, then something is wrong, and hopefully you're getting that fixed. We're obsessed with pursuing happiness, and we love things that make us happy. Hee hee, ha ha. You know, that's why depression can make it hard to fit in. No one wants to spend time with Debbie Downer, even if poor Debbie can't control how she's feeling today. So people who experience depression learn ways to cope with their apathy and lack of joy. One way to cope is to fake joy and laughter by joking around and make light of things. And again, by the way, shout out to balance.org for this article piece. Watch out for interest in high-profile suicide. Suicide rates increase after high-profile suicide. When a celebrity takes their life, the negative stigma of suicide disappears. We often view suicide as cowardly and selfish. And it is. I'm sorry. But when someone in the world admires, gives up on life, the news is met with praise for their accomplishments. Public perception of suicide shifts from self-murder to a quasi-artistic martyrdom for a time. This shift provides a dangerous window of opportunity for people struggling with depression. Depression, suicide is not always praiseworthy. It is not praiseworthy and happy. It is not. So don't think that. Oh, he lived a happy life and he, whatever. And don't just say that. No, go get help. Don't be like, no, we can't. You can, and lastly, you can never say that you was loved too much. Never say that. So now, you can never say you're loved too much. You can never say that. Don't never tell somebody. Don't think that you're telling them that too much. You are loved. You are loved. Don't think that you're saying that too much. So now you know what to watch out for. But what do you do if you think your friend is struggling with depression? It's simple. Tell their friend how much you love him or her and say it as often as you can. Don't think that you're saying it too much. Alright? Don't think that. Be back with more of the RH3 show, and I'll give y'all these 6 important guidelines to finish off. Alright? 6 important guidelines to follow, and they're great, y'all. Great. They're great. Be back with more of the RH3 show.
To the new man, from the old man into the new man.
We're transitioning from the old to the new this season on RH3. Have no fear, we still got you covered every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, now on our podcast platforms. Join us this week for all new broadcasts.
The RH3 show every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p. to 7 p. Eastern. For more about the broadcast, please visit the RH3show.com.
With the word redeemed, yo, waking up loud like a cappuccino. I know what he's done for me, so I can get up and praise him to a word redeemed, yo. Yeah. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him because he called it good.
That's all that we have for you all on today. Know that I love you for real. And always remember, whatever you do, always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, to love God and love yourself and love other people beyond words. For more about me or the broadcast, you can visit my website at therh3show.com.
Switch from the old man into the new man. from the old man into the new man. We made it from the old man into the new man. We made a new, and it's cause we've been given a new life. We're living in two Christ, and our sins are gone. Thank God that he the need to make us free indeed. Now the world was wrong. So that's so giving him his praise. I think it would take dead, but I'm not there for try. Let the redeemed say so. Remade it as him until we feel God's way. So we can stand tall and we will not sway. So the non-believers can look at our lives and take notes. Yeah, cause we're the word redeemed, yo. Waking up live like a cappuccino. I know what he done for me, so I can get up and praise him to a world redeemed, yo. Yeah. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna go, praise the Lord. Status that's from sinner to saint. As winners we can't live by the pictures they paint, because they know their own inner is taint. So we must live out our lives with a sense of restraint, which means do I live and we ain't. We are controlled by the flesh, we're depicted as quaint, and pray without a quitter's complaint, and being able to turn down your dinner at 8. That means you gotta say, because the price that he paid for me gave to me my freedom, so I'm not in slavery. Christ made a way for me, grace me then paid for me. Go way back to God through the life that he gave for me, and made me able to switch. Our lives were in darkness, they came with a switch, so we don't walk like we used to, talk like we used to. Called us for honor and he'll do it for you too. Yeah. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna come and praise the Lord. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna come and praise the Lord. I know I gotta praise because he set me free. The price that he paid, free me at Calvary. So I'm gonna dance and there's no stopping me. Don't ever change cause I got victory. So go ahead and praise him cause he's been so good. Give him all the glory like you know you should. Don't worry about the haters, they can't stop you and they could. Just don't make you praise him like you. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna come and praise the Lord. I know I gotta praise him now, praise him cause he called me to switch. Go ahead, cause